Y'all, your girl G right back at it. We have to get into marriage boot camp and what the flocka. This episode was lie detector test day, and it got Ballistic acting ballistic. Joseline had to address the elephant in the room between this whole stew situation, which was kind of really overboard. Like, I just realized, Joseline, when stuff is going too cool for so long, you self-sabotage and you want to start an issue or blow up something pretty minuscule and make it something bigger than what it really is. And then on what the flocka, Tammy wants to say she don't need no therapy, and I'm like, bitch, where? Like, oh no, you need therapy, okay? But nonetheless, also too, I just want to I hope you guys are doing well with y'all's quarantine. Everybody's doing, being safe and everything. Everybody needs to stay indoors so we can get this thing over with, and I can go outside because y'all see these roots over here. Like, it's bad over here this hair day. I mean, it's been worse, but it's heading there, okay? But nonetheless, let's break down marriage boot camp first, and then we'll get into Waka and Tammy. So basically, a marriage boot camp. We open it with Stu and Michelle. They're still talking, having this weird discussion of whether they made the right decision of coming to marriage boot camp, and Michelle is realizing maybe Stu loves her more than she loves him. And I'm like, is that a problem though? Like, you keep saying like Stu's doing all these things, that you're not used to, and all the things that you want in a man, but then now you're complaining about all the factors that you need in a man. Somebody who, it's good to know that somebody loves you more than, you love them, and that he cares so much, and he's not going to put his hands on you, and he's not abusive, like all those things. And I'm like, Michelle, you need to learn to accept a good man when you have one. And I almost feel like she needs Stu to be almost more assertive and more of a thug, to be more comfortable letting her walls down with him. It's so ass backwards. But in the midst of that going on, we got Joseline and Ballistic arguing over Stu now, because Ballistic feels like Stu was inappropriate, was hitting on Joseline. She feels like, okay, if you feel that way, then address Stu about it. Don't be coming at me. Like, I'm not trying to make his wandering eyes look over here. Obviously, Ballistic being this big, Brooklyn nigga, like super, like assertive, the main dom or whatever. I think he wants to pretend like he's not really as insecure as he is. Men who typically have high stature or are, big in their stance, don't want to let on that it's the small things that really piss them off. And Ballistic is obviously one of those dudes. Like, he wants to have a problem behind closed doors, but then not really address it to the person, So Joseline feel like she gonna take matters into her own hands, because she's like, I'm not gonna tolerate this disrespect. Like, if you got a problem, you address it, but don't be coming at me. So everybody gets downstairs and ready for, the activity, and they find out it's lie detector test day. But before they get into, the whole discussion, Joseline's like, I have to address an elephant in the room. And everybody's like, ain't no elephant in the room. So she's like, I would like to say that, I need to address Stu, because I need you to tell Ballistic that, we don't have nothing going on, because I got this man on my back saying that, I'm enticing you to look this way, and that he feels like you've been doing stuff that's inappropriate. And I feel like, Ballistic, if you have something to say, you need to say it right now. Ballistic gets pissed off. He gets up. He starts calling her this nut. He loved calling her nut. I'm like, you kind of knew that when you got with her. But he gets up pissed off. And now Stu, he's kind of mad, because he's like, here we go again. This freaking thing with Joseline. And then Michelle, her little, weird game changer that she tried to say between, Stu thinking Joseline's this beautiful woman, that only made it worse. So now he's kind of mad at Michelle too, because she only basically reconfirmed what Ballistic was trying to say, which is not really all of really that true. Like, we all know Stu, yes, he can admire Joseline from a distance, but he ain't never been like hitting on her. We ain't never seen them do nothing inappropriate. But I just think Ballistic is one of those dudes. It's like, if you my woman, like, ain't no nigga better be looking your way. Like, you keep it cute in the streets. Like, don't be trying to make no other nigga look at you, like that type of stuff. So now Joseline is sitting there mad at Ballistic, because she's like, oh, that's not what you said. That's not what you said behind there. Like, she wants him to basically, I guess, be her man. She wants to see that Ballistic is willing to, check another nigga for her. And I think him not doing that, first of all, made her look stupid in front of everybody, because now he made her look like a liar. But two, now it plays on Joseline's insecurities, because it's like, I'm giving this man the opportunity to show that he, wants to be my protector and there for me, and he's not doing that. He's not showing up. Ballistic didn't show up for Joseline and the way that she asked, which was, check that man for me. If you feel that way, then show that you care for me, and that, you make sure you let him know, like, man, I'll go to bat for mine. And he kind of didn't do that. So now she's mad about that. The whole house is confused. All of them is like, we ain't been seeing that. Like, don't nobody know what that's going on. So Dr. Ish had to go talk to Ballistic, and Joseline's downstairs talking to Stu, saying, y'all need to keep me out of it, okay? You need to keep me out of it, Stu. Now you need to go talk to Ballistic because I don't want no problems with my man, okay? Okay, I don't want no problems. So Stu was like, okay, I'll go talk to him. Ballistic's upstairs talking to Dr. Ish, and he's like letting him know, like, look, sometimes you gotta be the passenger. Let Joseline, do the driving, and you follow, take her lead. Like he's wanting him to realize sometimes you just gotta let things play out, and you just be there for your woman. Now they end up getting into the questions that everybody wants to do for the lie detector test day. Shani and CeeLo basically want to know if there's gonna be commitment to each other. Okay, at the end of this, are we gonna be together? CeeLo wants to make sure Shani's in it for genuine reasons. Adjua, Styles P. Adjua wants to know if Styles P had any, real feelings for the girl that he cheated on her with. Do I think he did? I don't know. I mean, like he said, lust is a feeling, but it's not like emotions, And if it does come back that he did, like, what's that gonna do? Like, cause I'm assuming he cheated years ago. So like, I wouldn't want to rehash those things, like if something that happened that long ago. I think Styles P, he wants to know if she blamed him for the death of their daughter. Now, Chose and Bianca, I'm so tired of these two. Like, y'all keep doing this back and forth stuff. Now, Chose, he wants to ask her if she was pregnant by another nigga. And it's like, bro, she wasn't pregnant. But he's really using that one dude messaging him about Bianca to his advantage. Because he knows if he can keep peeling away at it, he'll find one little detail to be like, see, I told you, and use that as an excuse to go run off with that other bitch he messing with. Which Bianca wants to know about. She wants to know, do you have any real feelings about the other girl? And so Judge Toller, like, basically reworded it and said, are you in an emotional relationship with another female besides Bianca? And the answer is yes. We all know the answer to that is yes. But does that matter to Bianca? Because he'll come back saying yes, and you're not going to leave his ass. You're still not going to leave him. Like, you stuck on stupid for this boy. I can't with you, Bianca. Like, you should be way better than this. You almost 30 years old, and you still playing with this little boy, this little nigga playing little boy games, like, over some other bitch that, like, he likes. He clearly likes the other girl. Like, it's obvious. And he loves putting both of y'all on a yo-yo string, just going back and forth, because y'all allow him to do it. And then he wants to be pointing fingers at Bianca, and now Bianca has almost turned it around on herself, like in her confessionals, like, oh my God, I know if it comes back false, that's gonna be it for me. He's not gonna want to be with me. He's one of those people, like, it's just like one thing mess up and he's always trying to cut me off. And it's like, why are you worried about him cutting you off? You need to be cutting him off with all the stuff that he did to you. This one thing out of the 10 million things that Chose did, girl, Bianca, run the other way. So then Ballistic finally comes downstairs, and him and Joseline get the question, which is the whole proposal thing. Is Joseline gonna leave, and is Ballistic ever gonna propose? So they separate the people, and outside they got everybody talking, and it was Styles P telling Stu what he possibly thinks could have set off the whole Ballistic and Joseline frenzy, which was this whole threesome joke that he made when they first come in. And Stu is a jokester. I don't think he said it with any ill intent, but at the end of the day, like, you can't be joking about taking some nigga's bitch, like, in front of him. Like, he not gonna really, like, take that the right way, And Ballistic's one of them street niggas, like, they real sensitive. They get real mad over the simplest thing if it's, like, any sign of disrespect. But and Ballistic's definitely the quiet type. He'll just keep it, he'll keep his cards close and just make sure he's side-eye. Like, he'll side-eye you, but he'll be like, I see you, But now Stu is understanding that, and Joseline is in the kitchen. And so Joseline's in the kitchen, and Michelle A walks in to fix a drink, and Joseline's just staring her down. And she's like, you ain't got nothing to say? And at this point, when she said that, I knew Joseline was trying to pick another fight, and she was trying to do it with Michelle A. Good thing Michelle A is a grown-ass woman, and she don't fall for them games, because Joseline's like, you don't have nothing to say? I mean, you the other reason why he feeling this way, talking about, oh, Michelle A sees it. Michelle A gets what I'm talking about. And she's like, well, I mean, I'm sorry if he feels that way, but I haven't. I mean, you're a beautiful woman, but I don't think Stu wants you. Like, you don't want Stu, so what's, like, does it matter? Yeah, she's like, I know I don't want Stu. I mean, he ain't even good enough for you, so I know he ain't good enough for me. And it was like, excuse me, bitch. Like, and Michelle had to be like, I got you, bitch. Okay, I see what you're trying to do. You not gonna get me today, bitch. So she's like, I'm gonna fix my drink and get up out of here. It was clearly like Joseline was trying to pull her into another argument because that's what she was looking for, because she wasn't getting it from Stu or Ballistic. Like, wasn't nobody entertaining her. So Michelle just had to she just had to redirect it, because she knew if she let it go any other direction, like, it was going to become a totally different argument than what the issue was. So then the other half of the people do their lie detector test, and Stu finally gets a chance to talk to Ballistic. Now, Ballistic's acting like there was never no problem. Joseline's this nut. You know, she brought up a whole issue, and his issue, he was like, oh, if I say something, you like, it gotta stay between us. And it's like, well, the issue can't stay between us if it's an outside problem. Like, if Stu's the problem, like, you need to address it instead of coming at me like I did something wrong. So I think that's why, you know, Joseline, you know, brought it up such a big way, but I just think she did go about it the wrong way. Dr. Ish had to talk to her, basically explain to her, like, I get it, like, you been through a lot of abuse. She has been through a lot of stuff in her life, so the smallest inkling of something going wrong, she's gonna take it automatically to 10, because, you know, that's her inner fear, not being protected, not being loved, somebody, you know, abusing her once again when she's been through that all her life. So they all get the results back. They go downstairs, and everybody just told us, like, I want to let you know that 4 of y'all niggas lied. Okay, 4 of y'all, the seat was found, but y'all not gonna get the results today. Right now, y'all gonna go out separately. The men are gonna go out, the women are gonna go out, and y'all gonna be single for the night. So everybody's going to get ready. Joseline's in there arguing with Ballistic, screaming bloody murder, talking about, I didn't do nothing to you. I didn't do this. What did I do to deserve this? I'm so freaking mad. And producers are trying to get in, and the door's locked. Boy, get down. Get down. Come on. Thank you. Sorry, y'all. My dog was in the way. But yeah, she's screaming at Ballistic bloody murder, so producers had to come in. And she's like, bitch, I'm fighting with my man. Leave me alone. I'm mad. So she's like, no, we gotta make sure nothing's physical. So she's screaming. And I think, like, she had just been holding a lot of stuff in. The way she had been screaming at him was like, she had, I guess, just had enough. So finally, everybody gets ready. They downstairs. The females are waiting on, I think, Shani or something like that. Or was it? No, they were waiting on Aju, I think. And so the ladies are downstairs. And here go Joseline again, trying to pick a fight with Michelle. Like, did what she say, like, you're not gonna check your man Stu or something like that. And she's like, why your face looking like that? What are you looking at me like that for? Michelle is like, I'm just listening, Joseline. I'm just listening. And it's like, bitch, why you keep trying to make a fight? She kept trying to make these TV moments, like, and when you a real one, like, you're not gonna give, like, Joseline that, because she's used to doing this TV stuff. Like, she knows how to poke at people, and Michelle just, like, Michelle is not one of them loving hip-hop girls. Like, she's not gonna go off over something stupid. And I'm glad she did it, because it was just gonna turn into a bigger issue than what it was. Then it was gonna be completely deflected off of what the actual problem was. So everybody actually ends up going out. You know, the girls, they end up having a lame time at the club. They even feel like doing it anyways. But the men, on the other hand, boy, the men was getting crossfaded. They was rolling, smoking, drinking. Stu was out of there. He was litty too titty, went to the club, fell out on the seats, falling asleep. Like, they was having a good old night. Then they had females in their section. Like, and the girls finally decided they wanted to leave. So then on the way back, here go Joseline again. So Michelle, you done with that nigga? Like, he ain't even back you up. And Michelle, though, I guess I don't know, she's still like, oh, I'm done with him. And I don't know if she said that in a moment of being drunk, or she said it's a wrap. I don't know if he said that, like, I don't know if she really meant that, or if she was just saying that just to shut, you know, Joseline up. But they get back to the house. They end up getting there before the niggas do. And, you know, the episode ends with all the men out there at the club, you know, having a good old time. And Stu's over in his own section. He decided to leave where the female was at, because he knew, I ain't gonna go through this again. I'm not gonna do that. But I did find it interesting how CeeLo kind of peeped that he felt like Joseline was holding a mirror up to Ballistic, like, oh, here's your insecurities, you know, and I'm gonna show them to you, basically. And I was like, you know what, CeeLo? I was like, you know what? You might be onto something there. Like, you might be, because the Ballistic, I think, very much is an insecure man, but he just doesn't like to put it out there, you know? he's like secretly crazy. He's crazy behind closed doors. Like he don't be showing in front of people, but behind closed doors, that nigga's a nut just as much as he called Joseline a nut. Okay, so let's move on to Waka and Tammy with the Flocka. So basically, this episode, Charlie's being a brat. Okay, Tammy has to understand her daughter needs some different type of discipline, because the way that she acting, like, we're not gonna sit there and pretend that Charlie is not no spoiled ass brat. Like, she is. But it opens up with Tammy taking her to like this double dutch or like high school jumpathon or something like that, and she wants Charlie just to get something different off her phone, like realize there's more to life, see how she grew up, what they did as kids and stuff like that. So Tammy, she was double dutching, okay, and she's like, you know, it brought me back to childhood. You know, we might have been poor, but we had, you know, these little things that made, you know, life great. And Charlie doesn't have to deal with those type of stresses, trying to find like the little happy moments, you know, and all the chaos of, you know, a crappy childhood, you know. But she's jumping and stuff. Charlie's basically ignoring her, don't want to jump with her, on her phone the whole time. I would have snatched that phone out of Charlie's hand. That's the problem. Y'all be letting Charlie on that phone too much. But, you know, she's finally decided she wants to take her back to Baltimore. So she was talking to her mom and saying, you know, she wants to take Charlie to Baltimore and kind of show her, like, how they roughed it growing up. Obviously, with the mom having an addiction and stuff like that, it was bad for them. And she wants Charlie to understand, like, you got it good, girl. Like, you have it good. But the problem is, Charlie's in this, like, teenage mode where, like, none of that's really important to her. What's important to her is like the fact that she doesn't have any friends. She's not hanging out with people. Like, she's by herself in the house. Like, that at her age, that's what's important. And it's kind of unfortunate that she's, I guess, not really being open enough to what Tammy and her grandmother are trying to teach her, but what else to expect from a bratty teenager. So Waka ends up taking Deb to a car shop. He wants to buy her a car. She was in a bad car accident. And they started talking about, obviously, him as a label, you know, being there for Tammy, managing Tammy, the therapy session. And, you know, Deb had some good advice for Waka, basically saying, like, look, Tammy's out here trying to be superwoman. Like, you got to help her because she can't do everything on her own. Like, she's dealing with a lot. And so he's understanding, like, you know, sometimes I just got to be husband. I got to be there for Tammy. But when he has a problem, you know, getting in and out of music label mode or manager mode and then being in husband mode. Like, they got to learn how to decipher the two. I don't think that they should be in business together. It's obviously bad for their relationship. But, sorry, y'all. But they gonna keep doing it because I think Jenny, like them niggas say, they like to argue. Like, it's a turn on for them too. It's so weird. But while they were doing that, Tammy wants to do a music release party. Now they go around looking for I guess a venue and stuff to do the party at. Tammy finds this one place. She think it's good. And Waka gets there and he basically tears it down on that furniture shit. Like, that don't go with the vibe. Like, and Tammy's thinking he's negative. And I'm like, I think that's so funny how Tammy can point out all the things that Waka, like, he's so negative, he does this and that. But you have the same exact qualities. Like, Tammy, sometimes when you walk in places, the first thing you do is start picking things apart that Waka did. Like, y'all do that to each other. And Tammy don't think she got problems. Like, she was talking to her mom and she was like, oh yeah, we went to therapy together. I don't even know what the therapy session was about. Was it about my parenting? Was it about our relationship? And I don't think I got nothing out of it because I didn't need no help anyways. And the mom was like, who don't need help? Like, Tammy, no, you need help because you got anger issues. And Tammy's having to, like, kind of reflect because it's like, dang, my mama telling me I got anger issues. My husband's telling me I got anger issues. You know, she was at marriage boot camp. And it's like, girl, you got 3 separate occasions being told that you got anger issues. Bitch, you got anger issues. And, like, we can see it as a viewer. Like, you obviously got some pent up stuff that you try not to relive. But that's the problem why you and Waka get it too, is because you feel like you have no problems. And Waka's all the problem, and he, you know, thinks the same way about you. But Waka is getting him in a better place of realizing, like, what he has to work on. At least he's going to therapy to fix it. Tammy, your ass need to do the same exact thing. So, nonetheless, they were arguing at, you know, the venue place. She only has 3 songs done after, you know, the whole mix up with the I guess the thing getting shot by the electricity or whatever. And so Waka's on her ass like, as a label, like, oh, we need to get this done. You should be churning out songs like this and that. You an artist, like, you supposed to be built for this stuff. Then he called her amateur. He's like, you don't know how this stuff goes. An album release party is like, you need the whole CD. You can't come here with no 3 freaking songs. And so Tammy's like, no, because she's thinking, oh, I'm gonna do these 3 songs and they're gonna help me pick a single. He's like, you don't even have a single yet. So now they're butting heads because she sees it as, oh, kind of a preview to the album. But he's like, no, you don't have a listening party without the full work, like body of work. That's so stupid. So now they're butting heads and he walks out. He's like, get it done, get it done. She's like, you can leave. And so their problem is too, is like they'll argue, but then the next day, like, sweep it on the rug and they'll be fine. And they both kind of made me laugh because they both just kind of realized, like, we love to argue. Like, that's their thing. Communication for them is arguing. And Waka is definitely one of those people who likes to, I think he likes to anger Tammy as, like, because he's a jokester. He pokes at her. Like, he likes making Tammy mad. I don't know why, but he does. And she likes biting back at him. Like, I tell you, like, for them, I swear that's foreplay. Like, that's how they do it. But they're in her closet talking about everything. And he says, I'm going to be a husband. I want her to show her that I'm listening. So while she's in Baltimore, he going to surprise her in Baltimore. At I guess the grandmother's birthday party. So they get to Baltimore and they're doing like the food drive, or no, she takes Charlie to her old house and trying to explain to her, and Charlie is just not listening, y'all. Charlie is being the biggest butthead, and I find it really ironic how Charlie is very emotionally detached. Somebody tells her something she doesn't like, she has an attitude, and I'm like, wonder where she got that from. Like, it's Tammy written all over Charlie. So now Charlie wants to be like, I don't know why they keep telling me that. I've heard these stories 25 million times. And I'm like, Charlie, they wouldn't keep telling you these stories 25 million times if they felt like you were receiving it. If you were acting as if you understand the benefit and the privilege that you have. So they keep telling you because obviously you're acting like you don't realize, how fortunate you are. So then, after taking her to the house and stuff like that, there's like a food drive, and Charlie's there. The grandma, obviously Tammy's mom, is very emotional about it because they were those people at one point. They did have to beg for food, and like with the mama struggling with addiction, like it was a lot. And so she wanted to talk to Charlie, and Charlie was just not giving her she was basically giving her ass to kiss. Basically, she was turning her head, trying to talk to the other girls. And the grandma had to let her know, like, girl, you hurt my feelings. Like, I'm trying to talk to you, and I'm trying to explain to you, like, we used to be these people. And Charlie's like, I know, like, I don't know what you want me to do. You want me to cry or something? She was like, yeah, something emotion, like, show some type of emotion. Like, I need you to understand, like, this was rough. Like, this was us at one point. And, I don't think Charlie was just like, I don't know why they want me to understand something. I don't get it. Like, I'm going through my own battle. Like, I don't know what to do about my friends who are like, might be using me because my parents are famous and I'm the only one where I'm at, I don't have a lot of friends. And it's like, yeah, Charlie, like, yeah, that's a hard battle at that age. That seems like a lot, but what is an even bigger battle is you're complaining about the fact that you might not have friends, and people are literally out there gotta complain about not having no food to eat. Like, girl, 2 totally different things, like way different, on the spectrum of struggles. Like, Charlie, you gotta understand that struggle ain't shit. Like, okay. So now Tammy's mom goes over to talk to her and was like, Charlie's not listening. Like, she's coming off like she's not really receptive. I'm trying to tell her, this is real. And, Tammy talks to her and she's like, what's the problem? Like, why aren't you like listening and being receptive? And she's like, I just didn't want my mood to be bad, get ruined and stuff like that. And, Tammy's like, I don't know where I'm going wrong. Like, I refuse to raise a bat. Like, I had to, struggle, get it how I live, hustle on these streets. So my child didn't have to do that. But that's the only negative thing about when you work so hard and have the privilege for your kids. It's like finding that balance between understanding, like, you don't have to struggle, but also at the same time, like, you also got to work for the shit you have. Like, you got to really put in the hustle and the work. And she made a very good point. It's like, you don't understand, you're not gonna understand how to be hungry if you don't know what starving feels like. And that's what Charlie's at right now in her life. She doesn't understand like what starving feels like. So she ain't gonna have that push, that hustle when she gets older, possibly. But what y'all need to do, start with, Tammy, is taking that goddamn phone away. Point blank, period. Take the phone away. And make her do something each week, a different type of project, something different for the community. Start pushing her to do stuff, because that's the only way. On top of that, Tammy too, you need to be somebody she can talk to. Like, you're so harsh, which is why she's harsh. Like, all of y'all have that same quality. So I think she ends up tending to go to Waka that way, because he's a lot more receptive. He's a listener. And, you know, she doesn't get like that big pushback like she gets from you when she just needs somebody to hear her, I guess. And I think, Tim, if you was softened up, you would get a lot more, you know, progress with Charlie. But after that, they go to the grandma's birthday. Waka ends up surprising them. And, you know, she was glad to see him. She said she missed him and stuff like that. Deb came too. You know, they had a little sweet moment at the end. But, you know, her and Waka for sure got to get back to therapy, because, Tammy, you need it. I don't know why you're sitting there acting like you don't. And then Charlie, she probably needs a little bit of therapizing too, because she's clearly holding in a lot of stuff. That's why her attitude is so weird, especially with Tammy. And, you know, get her more active in the community, and I guess take her probably to like a YMCA or something where she can make friends that are active, you know, do something. And somebody find Charlie a new hair person, because that black and white wig was not it, okay? The only hairstyle that actually looked okay was like the little pigtails, and then like the braids that she had. Not the blonde one, the kind of like fuchsia pink ones were okay. But other than that, like, Charlie needs to get a new hairstylist. And Tammy, your hair be looking on point, so I don't know how your child hair be looking so rough. Like, we can't be having that. But that's where the episode ends, y'all. You tell me what you think about Charlie and this little attitude she got going on. How do you feel about Michelle and Stu? Are they meant to be together? Should that, like, Stu walk away or Michelle walk away? Do y'all think Joseline was in the wrong for addressing Ballistic in front of everybody? Or, you know, was she genuine? Like, did she have a genuine point, you know, to do that to Ballistic? Y'all let me know. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Deuces.